When you accidentally make your console too good, you can run into problems. Your previous console won't die.
I could do this all day.
Its immortality makes it double the average length of the average console length, which, oddly enough, I don't think it's what's holding the PS5 back anymore. But to find out what is holding it back, I think we need to look into the past to find out what makes the PS4 such a powerhouse in the first place. So then we can figure out what the PS5 needs to do in order to course correct before Sony can even think about addressing a software problem with a hardware solution. Back in the day when PS4 was in its prime, it really stuck to its strength. Obviously, we can look back to see its single-player, story-driven games, but when we think about that, what's even further behind that? Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted 4, God of War, Spider-Man, even third-party games, Jedi Fallen Order, Witcher 3, Bloodborne, Red Dead Redemption 2? You could say all these games have a common denominator. They are single-player story-based games, for sure. But take it a step further. These games knew how to grip you, shake you, and really make you feel something long after the credits rolled. Games like this went beyond just having fun. It's like they stopped making traditional games and really focused on making mind-blowingly impactful products. It really proved to the mainstream that video games could rival and even outdo Hollywood at telling stories. Look at several of these video game adaptations today. You have Fallout, you have Last of Us. These are two of the best video game adaptations in any media whatsoever. They are very good. It's really because that PS4 generation really was like kind of peak. When I look back at the PS4 generation, I'm really going to always remember it for the stories and for the just emotional impacts that it gave me. The PS4's strength was its lasting impact. There's a lot of times I'm playing my PS5. Obviously, the PS5 is better hardware, but sometimes I'm just like, man, I just remember those glory days of like the PS4. It was just fun. So after all that success, you would think they would continue that strategy to keep their fans around, right? It's kind of funny how one little Hunger game can transcend gaming itself and just completely shock an entire culture. I mean, say what you want about Fortnite, but I don't even consider it a game at this point. Fortnite is a place. Movie trailers are released there for some reason. Guitar Hero is making a comeback. The Weeknd is having concerts over there. I mean, this is a real world Ready Player One, right? I mean, without the VR. What company doesn't want a piece of the action that Fortnite had? Obviously, PUBG came before it, and there have been many copycats around. But like when you think of that type of game, I mean, Fortnite is the definitive game of that genre. Competition is a good thing, and I admire people for their copycat strategies. Obviously, they want a piece of the action too, but also maybe don't put your eggs all in one basket. I used to think that the PS4's existence was holding the PS5 back. When I first got my PS5 in 2023, I started playing some games for it, and then in 2024, like midway into 2024, games are still releasing on the PS4, and I was all like, guys, we got to leave this generation behind. This is ridiculous. But really, I was wrong about that, because Sony, it's not the PS4 that's holding the PS5 back. It's Sony shooting themselves in their own foot. Many PS5 owners still feel like the console is still fresh even 5 years into the generation. You would think that the PS5, they would move on with the PS5 and just kind of ditch the PS4, right? But really, I think Sony stopped going for your heart and started going for your head.
What did you do? I went for the head.
So obviously we have continuously evolving hardware. We, like if we look at the consoles as they are today, there's not really so much a graphical leap so much as a like performance leap. So obviously our games look super smooth and stuff, but look at when Mark Cerny gets on stage and he sells us the PS5. Is he talking about all the fun we're going to have? No, he's really talking about all the tech specs and the flopflation and all these technical aspects of this, and what does that mean to consumers like you and me? Like, we can play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth better and stuff, but even that is going to have a cost to it. It's going to cost $200 more to play like this, and that's even getting into PC land. If I were to ask you to take a look at the PS5 Pro, obviously the specs are better than the PS5, but if I were to ask you how much more value does it give than a base PS5? Back when the PS4 versus the PS4 Pro came out, I could have a solid difference. I actually went for the PS4 Pro instead, and I enjoyed every minute of it. The thing is, for most people, performance on that level is more of a nice to have instead of an absolute necessity. And that's actually why a lot of people stick to PS4. The PS4 is capable of, obviously not all, but a lot of what the PS5 can do. I played Horizon Forbidden West on PS4. I played part of God of War Ragnarok on PS4. But when you look at the landscape of today's economy, I mean, people are struggling to pay their bills right now. So it's kind of worth it to either stay back on their previously owned hardware, like their PS4 Pro, and not upgrade to their PS5, especially if you're only gaming 1 to 2 hours a night, or 1 to 2 hours, I mean, in a week especially. Like, why are you going to spend all that money on an upgraded PS5, even one that is increasing in price as we speak? Really, the PS4 is a cheaper alternative that can play a lot of the stuff that you're already interested in, and all those games are discounted. All us dad gamers can unite and high-five each other because we're having a ton of fun and saving a ton of money in the process. And you're even further rewarded when you look at releases like Jedi Survivor releasing on the PS4. The whole game, or at least most of it anyway, is on the disc. And that's something that the PS5 doesn't even offer. Crazy, right? Even when you look at the software, you look at the games that have released this year, this generation, you look at Conquered, Overwatch 2, Suicide Squad. Where are those games all now? Sony dumped millions of dollars into Conquered itself, and what does it have to show for it? Then there's games that you also still might be playing too. Witcher 3, the 2022 edition. The Last of Us Parts 1 and 2, and I'm talking about the remakes. Gears of War, Forza, we're the PS5 really is kind of surviving off of remakes and Xbox games that are being ported over. Obviously, these are great games, but we've seen these all before, and this is why the creative space in the AAA arena is really where the money's being made. Well, I mean, at least where gamers are flocking to, because that's kind of where their most original games are being made. We look at the Switch 2, and you have Mario Kart World, you have DK Bonanza just releasing right now. Great 2 games, but at least we can reasonably assume that this console isn't designed to be a remake machine. There are plenty of games coming out for this thing in the near future. So really, you would think that PlayStation wants to win back those fans that it had during the PS4 generation, right? So there's a rumor that PlayStation 6 is coming out in 2029. I don't really think that's realistic. I think they more push that out to like 2020, to more like 2032 or something like that at least. But regardless, we kind of can reasonably assume that Sony is focused on the PS6. And in traditional console life cycles, go back to the N64. How long did that last? Like 5 years. Go back to the GameCube. How long did that last? Like 5 years. How long did PS2, PS3 last? Maybe more like 6-7 years. The PlayStation 4 has lasted from 2013 and is still going. I think there's a lot more juice that we can get out of the PS5, especially given how capable it is. Do you get excited over a PlayStation 6? I mean, like the graphical leaps that they're making right now are kind of seeing diminishing returns at this point. So really, it is a little bit more about performance, but like if you're going to pack a PC into this thing, I mean, like how much is that going to cost, especially in today's economy? Consoles are just, are really supposed to be the cheaper alternative to PCs. And if Xbox Series X is going for like $600, like how much more expensive are they going to price their stuff, especially at a loss? It's like they're designing this vehicle and forgetting to put gas in it. Obviously, games take a long time to make. Red Dead Redemption 2, I mean, like that. Like, look at the detail in that game. Look at GTA 6. There is a lot of detail in that game. This game, like these kind of games, take a while to make. Even games that are more like Assassin's Creed that comes out a little bit more frequently. All this stuff takes work, and it takes quite a bit of money to put in, especially with the graphics of these things, and then you have to sell several million copies to make a profit. So I'm not here saying rein the budgets in. Like, obviously I can just set up my camera, talk into it, post it up on YouTube, and say rein the budgets in. But I will say, I think what needs to happen is the PS5 needs to realize its strength. Is it different than the PS4's? I would like to see it go back to the PS4 strategy of making emotional storytelling games. At least we have Ghost of Yotei coming up. But what beyond that? Should we go God of War 3? Should we go Horizon 3? Really, when you look at the PS4, I mean, I think of it as like an emotion driving machine. When I look at the Switch, I think of it as a portable machine. When I look at the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X, I think of those games as a power machine or even a time machine. Seriously, Xbox is severely underselling its backwards compatibility. I think so many gamers, because of the lack of games, actually want to go back to games from the previous generations, and Xbox actually really has a solution to that. Really, I don't think we need a PlayStation 6 unless it's going to be wildly different. The PS4 is super capable still. The PS5 is even more capable. This is just waiting potential. So really, to pivot in the PS5, I really would like to see it go back to the PS4 strategy of telling good stories, and really give us reasons why to be excited about owning our PlayStation 5s. Granted, I personally am getting a lot of fun out of my PS5. I've actually never played Witcher 3 until this point. I had a really good time with the 2022 edition. Cyberpunk is amazing, and that is that you need a PS5 or any modern hardware to play that game. I mean, forget playing that on a PS4. Like, that's Cyberpunk is really, really exclusive to this generation. So good job, CD Projekt Red. So to recap, the PS4 was so good that it just did not go away, and it was really just the little machine that could, or even the big machine that could. I really think that needs to continue that strategy. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Comment below what your thoughts are on the PS4 sticking around. Do you think that the PS4 kind of just holds the current generation back? Comment below. I have 700 subscribers at the time of this video, so any comments you make, I will be getting to all your comments. And also, don't forget to give a like and a sub to this video. It helps the channel out a lot. If you would like to follow me on anything other than YouTube, I'm also on Twitter. Just search up the Datimer. Really, the most important thing you can do is watch this video that I'm going to put up on screen. Having all the consoles is nice, but if you're limited on time, you might be acting like a clown. I'll see you on the next one.